Hello friends, this video on body movements part 22 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Then comes fishes. So fishes are those organisms which live in water. So if we have to talk about the movement of fishes, it becomes important to talk about their body shapes because their body shapes play a very important role. Their unique body shape enable their movement in water. So this type of body shape is called streamlined body. So before we talk about how fishes move, let us understand the concept of streamlined body. So any body is said to be streamlined if its shape offers least possible resistance to the moving water. Now if you want anything to move in water, then that object should give minimum resistance so that that particular object should not oppose the movement of water. It should just allow water to move, and with that water it itself moves. So that should be the concept. So therefore, if we want any object to move in water, its shape has to be designed in such a way that it does not offer resistance. Resistance means opposition. So it should not oppose the movement of water. Now let us think of a paper boat. So you would have often made a paper boat with a piece of paper. Now have you ever noticed that if you put this paper boat in water, what happens? It starts moving with the moving water, right? Now have you ever noticed how does it move? It normally moves in this fashion. So let's say the water is flowing like this in this direction. So how does the boat move? So the boat moves in this direction, and it moves in such a way that the tapered ends, they are like along the direction of water, right? So when you make a boat, you make it in this shape such that it is broad in the middle, but it is tapered at the ends. So both the ends are tapered and it is broad at the between, and then when it moves on water, the tapered ends, they lie along the direction of the water flow. Now just try doing this. So let's say that you take two paper boats, okay, you make two paper boats and then you try to make it move on water. So in one case you try to put a force in this direction, that is you just push it in this direction in the water, and in the other case you try to push it from this direction, that is from the flat surface, from the broad between. So from between you are giving a force to make it move like this on water, and in this case, in first case, we are giving a force towards the tapered end and make it move like this. So what do you observe? You will observe that this boat will start moving very comfortably, but this one, the second scenario, would never move like this. It will again by itself change its direction like this, and then it will start moving. So you cannot make it move in this fashion. Why is it that? That is because this particular shape where you have tapered ends and it flows in this fashion, that is along the direction of water, in that case it offers minimum resistance to water, so therefore it can comfortably move in water, but in the second case it can't. So just try this out, try this activity yourself, and you would understand what I am trying to say. So please try this out. So we find that body tapered at both ends offers less resistance to moving water. So therefore you will observe that all the organisms that move in water, they have tapered ends. Now you look at the shape of a fish. So you see this end is tapered, this end is also tapered, and in between it is like broad. So broad in between, tapered and ends. That is the streamlined shape for any object to move in water, because in this shape, and the fishes also, they will also move in such a way that the tapered ends always lie along the direction of the flow of water. So if water is flowing in this direction, the fish will move either in this direction or this direction. Now when you talk about movement in fishes, again muscles play an important role. So strong muscles on the skeleton help in swimming. Muscles make the front part of the body moving on one side, and the tail moves towards the opposite side. So that's how the fishes move. So if you have ever seen these structures which they have they are the fins, and the tail of the fish helps them to change direction. So main purpose of tail is to change direction while swimming, and the fins, they help to control the balance, because every time there is water, so they need to control the balance of the water and their weight on that. So controlling balance is handled by the fins. So balance control. So if you ever see a fish moving, you will see that it keeps moving in a wavy fashion. So the muscles first make the front part of the body move in one direction, like in this case the body is moving in this direction, and then again in the other direction, and the tail moves just the opposite way. So that is why you get this wave like shapes. And with these kind of movements, it gradually moves forward. So now finally we will talk about snakes. Now, as I have discussed before, that snakes also do not have a vertebral column, so they cannot stand or sit. So but they can again crawl on the ground. So how do they move? Their movement is called slither, because they with wavy movements, again they also do not move straight ever, but they move forward by pressing against the ground. By pushing the ground backward, they tend to move forward. So they are elongated carnivorous reptiles, that is, they eat other animals. So other big and small animals are eaten by snakes, because the size of the snakes also vary. There are a lot of snakes which are big enough to eat a human being also. So when you look at their backbone, they have a very long backbone. So the entire backbone, so the type of the backbone that they have is little different from what we have, but their backbone is very long, because of which they can move. So that also helps in movement. However, they do not have legs, so as such they cannot walk or run, but their muscles help in their movement. So let's see how exactly they move. They have thin muscles and scales which help in their movement, and these muscles are present throughout their body. The snakes move very fast, and they never move in a straight line. You would have always seen snakes moving like this. So what they do is they press the ground with one part of their body and move forward. Again they press the ground with the second part of their body and move forward. So that's how they keep moving. Now, due to the presence of these thin muscles throughout their body, so their movement is different from the movements of earthworms. So you might say that the earthworm also moved somewhat like this, but not really, because in earthworms they had muscular bristles, and with the help of those bristles they moved. But in case of snakes, they have muscles, thin muscles throughout their body, and with their help they move in this curvy fashion and they slither. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.